Hello everyone, this is Divya, working as assistant professor in EEE department at St. Peter's Engineering College. Today I want to discuss about DC motor under the subject Basic Electrical and Electronics Engineering, unit number 3. So, a DC motor is nothing but which converts the electrical energy into the mechanical energy. Now I want to share the practical DC motor diagram with you. So this is the practical DC motor which you are going to perform experiments in your BEEE lab, which you already done, right? So you are using this type of DC motor. So this DC motor will convert the electrical energy into mechanical energy, which can deliver the mechanical output. So as we already said, the DC motor converts the electrical energy into mechanical energy, and a DC motor is one of the class that rotatory electrical motors that converts the direct current into electrical and direct electrical current into mechanical energy, and the most common types are when the forces produced by magnetic fields. Nearly all types of DC motors have some internal mechanism, either electromechanical or electronic, to periodically change the direction of the current in part of the motor. So the DC motors were the first form of motor widely used, as they could be powered from existing direct current lighting power distribution systems. So a DC motor speed can be controlled over a wide range using either by a variable supply voltage or by changing the strength of the current and in its field windings. So same as DC motors are used in tools, toys, and more often also. So coming to the construction, this is the cross-sectional view of a DC machine. I'm telling DC machine, not a DC motor. That means both the motor and generators are called as machine. The construction is same for motor and generator. Here you can see these are the field poles, and these are the load terminals, and this is the shunt pole. This is the field winding which is provided on the field pole, and this is the pole shoe. That means here the pole shoe is like a horseshoe magnet because to produce more magnetic flux, and to reduce the effects also we are using this type of pole shoe magnet, and these are the interpoles between the main poles, and this is the commutator frame and armature conductors. When you are seeing this diagram, this is the rotor, this is the commutator, brushes, axle, and stator. And coming to the working principle of DC motor, whenever you are placing a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field, it produces a mechanical force. Why? Because you already know every current carrying conductor produces its own magnetic field around it. So, when you are passing a current in one conductor, if that conductor is placed in another magnetic field, that means here you can see this is the north pole and this is the south pole. There exists a magnetic field between these two poles. That means in this direction, right? When you are placing this current carrying conductor in this magnetic field, this current carrying conductor also produces its own magnetic field around it. So here in this place there exist two different types of magnetic fields. One is produced by the field poles, that means this north pole and south pole, and the one is producing by this current carrying conductor. So this magnetic field with is cancelled with this magnetic field, or either it can aid based on the direction of the magnetic field, so that there exists a difference between the magnetic fields in that room, which in turn produces a torque, so that it produces a rotating force on that particular conductor, so that the conductor rotates in that way. So here the electrical current supplied externally through a commutator, and the commutator reverses the current each half revolution to keep the torque, turning the coil in the same direction. And coming to the types of the DC motors, there exist three types of the DC motors. Those are DC shunt motor, DC series motor, and DC compound motor. The first one is the DC shunt motor. Coming to the DC shunt motor, we have to place the shunt field resistance which is in parallel with the armature winding. This is the armature winding. Always we have to represent the armature winding in the motor only. We have to represent the shunt field winding across the armature winding. So for this connection, we have to place parallel with the voltage source. So the parallel combination of two windings is connected across a common DC power supply as shown here, and the resistance of this shunt field winding, which is represented by RSH, is higher than the armature winding resistance when coming to the DC shunt motor. And this is because the number of turns for the field winding is more than that of the armature winding. This number of turns are more than the armature winding, and the cross-sectional area of the wire used for field winding is smaller than that of the wire used for armature winding always. In practical view, the armature looks like this. Okay, so these are the characteristics of DC shunt motor. This is the armature torque characteristics, armature current and speed characteristics, torque and speed characteristics. Okay, this is how SH shaft torque. This is armature torque. Always the torque produced is directly proportional to phi into Ia, and phi is a constant here. Phi means the flux produced in the machine, and tau is the torque. Ia is the armature current, and speed is directly proportional to Eb by phi. That means speed is directly proportional to Vt minus Ia Ra. The second one is the DC series motor. DC series motor is nothing but we have to connect the field winding in series with the armature winding like shown here, and we have to connect the supply voltage across this one. So here the armature current is equal to the load current. The field winding is connected in series with the armature, and the current passing through the series winding is same as the armature current. So therefore the series field winding has fewer turns of the thicker wire than a shunt field winding, and also therefore the field winding will possess a very low resistance than the armature winding. In the DC shunt motor it possesses very high resistance, but in the DC series motor it possesses very low resistance than the armature winding because it has to pass current, so it has to possess very low resistance. And these are the characteristics of the DC series motor. And here in this DC series motor, tau is directly proportional to phi into Ia, and Ia is equal to IL is equal to IF because all are connected in series. And coming to the back EMF, here EB is nothing but back EMF. EB is equal to 5Z NP A by 60. NP by 60A. So here N is nothing but number of turns of the coil, and phi is the flux produced, and Z is the total number of conductors, and P is the number of poles, A is the number of parallel paths. So N is directly proportional to Eb by phi. So that means the speed is inversely proportional to phi. So and torque is directly proportional to phi into Ia. It means speed is inversely proportional to Ia. So this is about the DC series motor, and next coming to the DC compound motor. The DC compound motor is mainly classified into long shunt compound motor and short shunt compound motor, and the next one is cumulative compound motor and differential compound motor. That means again these two motors are classified into long shunt cumulative compound motor and long shunt differential compound motor, same as short shunt cumulative compound motor and short shunt differential compound motor. Compound is nothing but the mixture of both the series and shunt field winding. That means here the field winding should be placed in series and shunt also. That is the difference between normal motors and compound motor. So this is about the DC shunt DC motors. Thank you.